It is, of course, Saturday night again, and it's time for the magic of wrestling. I am, of course, the magician, Liam Wakelin.
And I am the effing expert of effing wrestling, Mr. Isaacs.
Welcome back, Mr. Isaac. It feels like it's been a while since we've seen you, but of course, you're back on the show.
It has been a while. I've been on a little bit of a hiatus. I was very busy in the month of March, but I am very happy to be back. I'm ready to talk some wrestling. We got a lovely young lady here with us that's a phenomenal wrestler, and I'm excited. It's going to be a good show.
Of course. So we are joined by UKW star Kirsty Love. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, thank you. And thank you very much for that lovely compliment as well.
Very
It's been a
welcome.
lovely day. Been out and about doing my walk, catching Pokemon, play Pokemon Go. So it's been great.
I love the fact that we're 2 minutes in a row already talking about Pokemon Go,
Hey,
Why not? You said it was okay.
It is, of course. It is. Now, as we said in the intro, you're a bit of a gamer, and Mr. Isaacs, I know you're a bit of a gamer as well. So, what do you like about games in particular?
Well, right, sorry, I don't know why I thought you were talking to me there. I like it because it depends which one you play. I like to kind of escape from the world from time to time. So I tend to immerse myself in World of Warcraft. So it's all fantasy. You can literally just immerse yourself within Elven Forest. Like I'm an Alliance player. Sue me. Don't actually sue me. And it's I'd like to take in all the scenery, and my main's a paladin. Multitask. You can tank, DPS, and heal. Unstoppable. But it's that escape. That's what I like about it. Also like that it tests different skills, with certain games, with puzzles. I love puzzle games as well. That you get in Resident Evil. So it's that.
Resident Evil. That's an old classic of mine. And my favorite horror game of all time is the OG Resident Evil that came out in 1997 on PS1.
Yeah. I still got a copy of that. I do.
That is awesome. That's probably worth a lot of money at this point.
I don't think I could separate
You
myself
couldn't part
from it,
ways with it, yeah.
No,
I understand that. As a collector, you want to hold on to things like that.
Oh
We've already
yeah.
got our first question here from Effin Wrestling. What is your favorite old school game?
Oh, I think it would have to be Spyro 3. What was it called? And
What a game, by the way.
yeah, what's the subtitle of it called? Spyro 3
Into the Dragonfly?
No, I think that's the fourth one actually. It's something along those lines, but it's mainly about collecting the eggs, and the main villain is the sorceress. That one I think is an all-time favorite of mine. It was between that one and the first one, just Spyro the Dragon.
Yeah.
Those are my favorites.
I haven't personally played those, but my son's a huge fan of the Spyro series, so yeah, they look cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Spyro one is obviously something I grew up with, so I'm really absolutely proud when you said Spyro. So that's probably my personal thingy. What's this one? Goals and Ghouls?
Ghouls and Ghosts, Effin Wrestling says. I don't even know if I remember that. That's going way back. I think that's an old school game.
I'm gonna have to look that up now. I'm gonna have to look that up. I always love seeing new games. I say new, it's older, I think. So it's it'll be new to me. It's relative.
So sticking with obviously the gaming thing, old school games or new school games?
Oh, that's a tough one. It's 50-50. It depends. I think I'd prefer old school games, but I do love what newer games do offer, if that makes sense. The insane graphics, for example, Resident Evil 4, the remake. I can't wait to play that. It's an old school game, but it's been remastered, and I've seen clips of it, and it's terrifying. It's terrifying.
I know where you're coming from where you say that answer of it kind of depends, because it's you get the nostalgia effect of having the older games, but the newer games have better mechanics. You can move better, they've got better graphics, they kind of function better than the old school games. So it's kind of a mixture of what matters more. Does the nostalgia outweigh the mechanics or vice versa?
Yes, that's pretty much it. So it's I would never go hard left or hard right. It's I'd kind of meet in the middle, because I wouldn't just turn around and say like, no, I only play old games. No, I only play like new games. It's like, because eventually the new games become old. So
Yeah, absolutely. And we've got another question here from F and Wrestling. He's on a roll today.
yeah.
Did you watch any of The Last of Us on HBO? I know you said you were into horror games, so did you watch any of that show?
I've been wanting to watch it. Like it's bookmarked. Like my boyfriend and I are going to watch that together. So definitely gonna
I've heard
give that
great
a
things. I
watch.
haven't watched it yet. I'm a big Walking Dead guy, but I haven't delved into The Last of Us yet.
Yeah.
Liam, what about you? Have you seen it?
It's actually it's like I'm the same with Kirsty. It's on my like to do list, but I've just not got around to watching it. You know, I mean, obviously when you're working all the time, and obviously as Kirsty being a wrestler, I'm sure there's not much time to watch much stuff. You know.
Oh yeah.
So anyway, let's get into the wrestling side of stuff. So that's why we're obviously here, right? We're on a wrestling podcast. So you're obviously part of UKW wrestling. Now, a lot of
Yes.
people are not actually familiar with the UKW wrestling thing. Do you want to tell people a bit about it?
Oh, of course. Like, what would you like to know about it? Like, it's based in Batley in Yorkshire,
Mm-hmm.
which like it's quite a journey from Scotland to there. But like a lot of the time, like I travel from Gateshead, which is like Newcastle area. So it's like about 2 hours, 2.5 hours to get there. I travel with Damien Black, who's like a meanie bobini. So, but he drives me there, so he's got a soft side for me. um, but it's very unique. Like I love working there. I love like working with the likes of like Leonie Rose.
Mm-hmm.
Like can't say enough good words about her. She's a wee jobby to me, but you know, she's good to work with. They give me opportunities. I literally, unfortunately, last month I lost the UK Wrestling Women's Championship to Zaya Brookside, but you know, I kind of shot myself in the foot with that by being way too overconfident. You know, I was on a major winning streak. I was too confident, and it bit me in the ass. I've decided that I'm gonna, like, work my way back up the ladder instead of, like, invoking my rematch clause because I can do that. They give me that opportunity, but it's like, "Nah, I'll earn that back." It was my own fault that I lost it, so let me
uh,
let me build it back up. It's a warm environment, like,
mm-hmm.
everyone's just, like, so welcoming. The wrestling it's fun to watch, like, you can watch them on YouTube. They host shows twice a week on
Mm-hmm.
YouTube. It's Wednesday night Genesis, which that's like Wednesdays, but I think they tend to go up on the Thursdays now,
Mm-hmm.
like day later, because you know I've no idea what goes into the editing and cropping and all that malarkey. I do not envy, don't envy them. But they actually now stream Friday nights live,
Oh,
but they do upload it later on.
yeah.
But it's like 7 o'clock Friday, and I think you can just click on the link that's like in their channel. It'll
Mm-hmm.
just sit there saying like ready to go live. I
On
think
the
that's
YouTube
it. Anyway.
channel?
Yes, it's
Okay.
UK Wrestling TV. I believe
Oh, okay.
that's the channel. I
Right.
follow it, you know. Like I watch it every week. Like to show support, and plus I just genuinely really enjoy it all. It's loads of fun, and I also get to have like loads of snacks.
Mr. Isaac, you got a question?
Yeah, I was just curious. Have you ever worked in the US before?
No, I haven't. Not once.
Oh, okay. Well, I was just kind of curious, what your thoughts were of like American wrestling versus like the British wrestling style, how they compare to each other. What are your thoughts on that?
I think they complement each other really well. Like, I think if you use a mixture of the two, you can have like a really solid wrestler there, or you can have a proper solid wrestling match. Because like you've got the technicality and the thought that goes behind the British wrestling against like more flashy kind of the Americans are like more flashy and just kind of make everything look very big. And if you mix the two of them together, I think you can get like it's Kurt Angle. You know, you
Yeah.
basically get Kurt Angle, who is like the best wrestler who ever lived. Fight me.
Oh, he's a great wrestler. He's definitely up there. That's for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean,
Best
I
wrestler.
I think it's cool how, and again, I'm not like a huge aficionado of British wrestling. I've watched quite a bit of it. I like how a lot of like strong style elements kind of starting to come into play in British wrestling. A lot of like Rev Pro working with New Japan and everything. I think that's really cool. I like
That's
that.
sick. I love Japanese wrestling as well.
Awesome. So you mentioned obviously earlier on about Leonie Rose. Now you've obviously faced each other in GT Ministries as well as UKW. So
Yes.
So talk about obviously because you've obviously got a big feud going. Go ahead, talk about working with her.
Well, in GTM, I'm a bit more grumpy because I swear Leonie steals my stacks beforehand. So I'm not gonna lie, I'm a bit of a salty bad guy when I go to GTM, but I think she steals my stacks, and that's why she's in such a good mood when she's there. Because yeah, I've got snacks now, and she doesn't have snacks, so we kind of switch the roles of like she's a happy baby face, and I'm the grumpy heel. Like, oh.
Well, that
But
brings in an interesting question. Like, which do you prefer? Do you prefer to be the heel or the baby face?
it's so hard to tell. Like it depends. Like I'm not gonna lie, I'm an angry, vicious person, so I probably prefer heel. It's true. But I like again. They both have their own perks to them. Because like with heels, you kind of just focus on like just talking shite, sorry, talking nonsense to the patrons and like antagonize the baby face and do like proper mean stuff, like put that hold on that they're probably going to feel in the morning.
See, I'm with you on that. I think it would be more fun to be a heel. Like, I think that would be a lot of fun. At least for me personally, I think it would be a lot of fun.
Yes, but it's also fun being the baby face as well because you can just kind of be like, anything you can do, I can do better to you.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know?
You get to look like $1,000,000 and everybody
Yeah.
cheers for you. Yeah.
It's like you get like I can hit out with a nice gut wrench suplex and I'd be like, oh, that's lovely. If I do it as a heel, then that was rubbish.
Mr.
Fair
Rise, it's
enough.
back to you. Mr. Rise, it's back to you.
Yeah. So, do you have I know you said Kurt Angle was your favorite wrestler. Did he influence your wrestling style, or is there a wrestler in particular that kind of influenced how you work in the ring?
Oh, Kurt Angle's a major influence of mine. There's another one, but I'm pretty sure I'm not supposed to say his name.
Yes, but I think we know what we're on about. Yep.
Likes to do the German suplexes as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
I mean,
Yeah,
he was a great worker. I mean,
he
you can't
was.
take that
He was
away
a
from
great
him.
wrestler.
Yeah.
Just keep that part away. I'd rather he didn't do any of that.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, I prefer if it was like, you know,
Well, that's
make
good
more sense.
influences, though. I mean, it's
Yeah.
very technical wrestlers that are hard hitting. I mean, yeah, I'm a little surprised to hear a British person say Kurt Angle. That's pretty cool, though, because they
Oh,
always wear the
yeah.
American flag and everything, and that's he is a great wrestler, that's for sure.
Oh, absolutely. It's because he's a great wrestler. Like I don't really mind when people like. I don't see the point in getting annoyed if someone says, "But you're British. You should be looking up to a British wrestler." I'm like,
Right.
well, yeah, I'm sure. Like there is like great British wrestlers out there, but for me personally, I love watching Kurt Angle. Like I'll still watch his matches like to this day. I mainly watch Japanese wrestling though, like New Japan, Stardom, and a bit of Noah.
Who's your favorite New Japan today?
Oh, right. I think it's between Okada
Hmm.
and what's his name? Oh, his name escapes me. Sorry.
No, you're fine. I mean,
It,
I'm a huge
it does.
Okada guy too. I love Kazuchika
Yeah.
Okada. I think he's great.
It's he comes to the ring with a dragon mask.
Oh.
Come on, Mr. Isaacs, get your thinking cap on here.
I'm trying to think. There's so many guys though that come out wearing masks. I'm trying to think of which one's the
Oh,
dragon.
it's just like it's just half a dragon mask. I feel like a right rear end here. I can't remember his name. I was literally saying it like yes. I was talking to my boyfriend about him yesterday because we were watching it. It's him that puts on the New Japan Network, and he'll put on Noah and Stardom for me as well. Like we both watch it. Is it
All right, so we
Ish?
got it. His name popped in my head. I wasn't sure if that's who it was or not. But
Shingo.
Ray Gulian says
Shingo.
Shingo Takagi. Yeah.
Thank you. That's my boyfriend. That's right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, Shingo Takagi's great too. I like watching his stuff as well.
Yeah, I
I'm
mean,
so
when it comes
sorry.
to when it comes to New Japan, I mean, there's so much great talent. You could obviously
Oh, yeah.
Naito's another one. Will Ospreay's obviously a big fan of me. I'm a big fan. Sorry.
He's going to be a big fan of you eventually when we
He's
blow
gonna
up.
be.
Yeah,
He's
you're gonna be. And then
When this goes viral.
Tanahashi. I mean, you can literally go through so many in New Japan. I mean, it's absolutely great. But
IBF, LOL.
this is brilliant. So yeah, we'll move back obviously to things. So I guess the idea was, what made you want to get into wrestling? Because it's so unique for some people. I mean, what made you want to get into that industry?
You're gonna laugh. It's really silly. Every time I get asked this, like they always laugh, and like I don't blame them. But like when I was about 13, 14, I played way too many wrestling games. And then when I watched it, I was like, this could be doable. I'm going to do it. So that was it. I just played way too many wrestling games, and here we are.
And did you have a favorite wrestling game?
It was SmackDown versus Raw 2006.
Those early SmackDown versus Raw games,
Oh,
they were really
yes.
good.
They are so good.
Yeah. For me personally, I was more into like the No Mercy style of game.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was probably my favorite. But yeah, the SmackDown versus Raws, they were dope too.
Oh,
Yeah,
I really enjoyed
I was
them.
so sad when they actually stopped making them because I felt like they were best wrestling games going. You know.
Oh yeah, I was gutted. I was really gutted about that as well.
Yeah, I mean, you had the flaming tables, and you could do pretty much anything on those.
Yeah.
It was like the Wild West of wrestling games.
Oh yeah, it
Yeah.
really was. There was kind of like close to knuckle stuff going on.
Mr. Isaacs, back to you.
Well, and again, kind of getting back to picking your brain about what kind of introduced you to wrestling, what kind of like got you into the product. What do you have a favorite match of all time?
Ooh, like that I've done or watched.
That you've watched,
That
like
I've
a match that
watched.
was inspirational to you, like a really good match that you look back on and say, I want to have a match just like that.
Pretty much any All Japan match.
Okay.
Actually, there was an absolute belter that I watched quite recently. It was like, that's the match I want. I believe it was. Oh, sorry, I've been watching a lot of it, so I'm like, I try to remember which match it was. Like one that I normally go back to, which was like the favorite beforehand, was Kurt Angle versus someone I can't name.
Yeah.
He who shall not be named. Any of their matches practically, but mainly pay-per-view style, I think, when they really got into it. I also think I really enjoyed no, I didn't think. I know I enjoyed. I think it was Kurt Angle versus. Oh no, it was that one. Yeah, it was that one. It was Kurt Angle and such and such in a steel cage match, and he ended up doing this massive moonsault off the top, which I don't normally do high flying stuff, but Kurt Angle didn't really do that either. It was mainly a Jeff Hardy thing, so it was like it was crazy to see it at the time. I was like, what the? Put a wee emoji over my face or whichever. I was like, sorry, my bad.
No,
but it was
fine.
that. I just loved that. They were just it was just perfect. Like it was wrestling Like, I'm a sucker for suplexes. Like, I love
Yeah.
seeing all sorts of different suplexes.
Well, if you love suplexes, you don't get any better than those two.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, those two are great. I mean, personally, my favorite Kurt Angle match, I think, was the HBK one at WrestleMania. Like that was they tore the house down with that. I think that's my favorite Kurt Angle match of all time.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that was a good one. I also liked when he was against Rey Mysterio as well.
Yeah, that was a
That
really good
was
one too. I think
insane.
that was at what SummerSlam of 02, roughly.
I think so.
Because I watched that one not too long ago, believe it or not.
I've watched
When,
I watched that a lot.
Because when Ray went into the Hall of Fame, I watched like a best of Rey Mysterio, and that match was on there. That was a really good one. I don't even remember watching that one 20 years ago, but it was really good.
Yeah, absolutely. So you've had an amazing career already, 12 years, as of obviously the history. But have you got any highlights which stick out for you? So what have you done up to the 12 years, which is something you can look back and go, you're proud of?
I wrestled a match with Mayu Iwatani about 7 or 8 years ago for British Empire Wrestling. It was we only got 8 minutes, and it was the opening match, but I was also very different there. I was not in the best shape and not doing too well up here either, but we had an absolute banger, and that's what made me fall in love with Japanese wrestling. It's like, that's what I want. That's what I want to do. I was very proud of that. A lot of the time, like, again, this is why I love UKW so much, because they're so good to me. They always let me have these cracking matches. Like, they just, like, Leonie and I, we work so well together because we've got that chemistry. Like, if you go on the UKW network, which is but you basically, it's only like $4.99 a month. You can literally like have thousands of matches you can watch, like pay-per-views. That's where you'll see a lot of mine and Leonie's matches together.
Wow.
But we progressively get better every time. And I love watching those matches because she pulls me, like, she makes me like put more and more out. You know, it gives me proper passion when I'm working with her. It's like, right, okay, I'm gonna do more, and she's gonna do more, and we just push each other. So I think the last match we had together was, I think it was the February. Yeah, it was it February? Oh no, wait, it wasn't. I think it was Actually, no, I'm pretty sure it was February. But we put on such a match. I think it's hands down one of my best matches I've ever had. And last month, I wrestled Zaya Brookside. Again, it was one of the best matches I've ever had as well. So it's like, it's up there. So it's like, I'm getting these opportunities. I'm also getting trusted to do these matches. And like that, like anything UKW related, I'm proud of. I'm proud of, because like I cannot sing their praises enough. I can't. Like, you won't get me shut up about it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's
So
awesome.
obviously, I've got a little follow-up question to this now. Obviously, Leon is now part of the managing team, obviously for Ignite, if I'm correct on that. I mean, is it a different approach now, obviously working with her, or is it still pretty much the same way forward?
Well, she's a manager of Ignite, so I don't really wrestle for Ignite. That's more for upcoming stars. So like, so them to get used to like doing shows, and then they represent that. It's kind of like SmackDown versus Raw. It's Ignite versus Showdown kind of thing.
Okay.
So like, that's their promotion. So she's the one who runs that. She makes the decisions for that. So she can't really make any decisions for me. So it doesn't affect me in that way. But if she can, like in pay-per-views, she can send opponents my way if she wants to. Like, yeah, I'll do it. I'll take it.
Oh yeah, of course. Mr. Isaacs, back to you.
Well, I'm curious. What would be your goal as far as like reaching a promotion? Would you want to go to WWE? Would you want to go to AEW? Would you want to go to Stardom, since you love Japanese wrestling? Do you have a preference of where you would want to end up eventually?
Stardom. Absolutely. Japan is definitely the place I want to reach. Like, I want to at least do one tour so I can see how it, like, see if I like it, or otherwise I'll be like, yeah, just keep it in my back, keep it in my back. But that's the top goal, really, is Japan.
Awesome. And I think Japanese wrestling is like, women are going to be a lot more in the forefront now that they've got that IWGP women's title that Mercedes Moné has. So I think that would be cool to see a lot more women go to Japan. I know Liam is a big fan of Stardom. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I've recently watched the product and it's absolutely terrific. Do you know what I mean? I don't feel like it gets enough praise. Do you know? I've really done. I would definitely recommend it to absolutely anybody. You know?
Yeah, definitely.
I'm hoping they eventually bundle Stardom with New Japan World because I subscribe to New Japan World. So I hope eventually they just integrate the Stardom library into that because I'd like to go back and watch a lot of those classic events.
I think they are kind of doing that slowly but surely.
I hope so. Yeah, I'm going to check it out and see if I can find anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So I've got a little follow-up questions for what I've just asked before is, now on April 29th, a day of reckoning is coming up and you've issued an open challenge. Do you want to tell everybody about that?
Well, it's like I said, yes. Like I said,
Natalia Markova is a friend of the network, so we love her around here.
I'm sure she's lovely. Let's do it. Game on. Yeah, there's like I was saying before, sorry, tripping up over myself here. I was saying before, like, I need to earn an opportunity back to win back the UK Wrestling Women's Championship. Like, I don't think I should be able to just go, yeah, give me another opportunity. Let me do it. Like, because it was my own fault, because it was my own fault when I lost it. It was my own fault. No, that's not like shitting on Zaya or anything. Sorry, that's not dumping on Zaya or anything. She's very talented. She's very smart and calculated in there. But I just went in way too confident, like stupidly confident. So I need to earn it back. So that's why I've issued this open challenge. Like, you know what? I want someone to face me. Like, give me someone to make me earn it back. And from what Leonie and Red Bronco have said, it's going to be a triple threat match in Ignite, which is like this Wednesday, between Sarah Sky, Nisa, and Ruby Bronco. And whoever wins that match gets to face me. What a prize! I'm joking. I'm not that mean.
You've already said you mean if you don't get your snacks.
Yeah, don't steal my snacks. My fat bud, don't steal my snacks.
Mr. Isaacs, back to you.
Yeah, so I'm just kind of curious, and I asked this of every wrestler we've talked to in the past. How did your family react to you telling them you wanted to be a professional wrestler? I'm always kind of curious to see how like non-wrestling family members react to this kind of news.
They took it relatively well. I think they just didn't think I could do it. So it was just kind of like, instead of fighting me on it to make me go for it more, they just went, okay. My dad didn't take it too well because he's worried about the injuries, and he's not wrong. He's not wrong. Like, I've had a few nasty injuries. He's just like, because he used to do karate a lot, and he would like come back with like sore yins. Like, he's got arthritis in his hands now because of it, because he's like, he just turned 70 like about last week, maybe 2 weeks ago, sorry. And that's his worry for me. And when I actually done it, they were shocked, but like really proud of me. They came and watched my first ever match. Like, sat there with a bright pink Kirsty Love t-shirt. So it was like no shame at all, sitting in the front row. So like, they didn't think I could do it, which granted, it was random as fudge. Random as fudge. And I did it. And they were so proud of me for it.
Follow up to the snack issue we were discussing earlier. FN Wrestling wants to know if you have any favorite snacks. Like what is your absolute favorite snack that if Liam came to your house right now and took it from your hands, you would slap him?
I think she just slapped me anyway.
If Liam comes in your house, you're probably slapping him anyways, but this is just a hypothetical.
It's Red Leicester cheddars, like crackers.
Okay.
They're my favorite. I absolutely love it. Or anything chocolate.
You can't go wrong
That is
with
pretty much
chocolate
it.
unless you're allergic to it.
Like, don't steal my chocolate.
That is brilliant. Oh dear. So obviously the two main shows you've obviously worked for at the moment is UKW and GT Ministries. Is there any differences working for each promotion, or is it pretty much the same thing?
It's kind of the same thing, only I'm far more grumpy in GTM's ministry. GTM Ministries. I'm far more grumpy there. And that gets live streamed as well, actually. Like, it's really good because you can watch like your fellow workers like wrestle, like literally just there, like after you don't have to like stick your head out through the curtain or anything. It's like, oh, I'll just pop on my phone and watch it, or someone will bring their tablet out and we'll watch it in the tablet. It's the stages, like there's like spotlights there, so it's like really dark all the way around, and like it tends to be the same fans. Some other like there's different fans, but there tends to be a lot of the same fans as well from UKW coming in there. So like normally, like when you go into promotion and you know you're like, yeah, I'm gonna be grumpy for this one. So you go. I don't know why I'm saying it like this. I don't know, but they know that I'm grumpy, so they'll still boo me regardless the fact that I'm much more chirpy at UKW. So oh, you suck, Kirsty. Like, you didn't say that at UKW last week. Little asshole.
That would be kind of a strange dichotomy of
Yeah.
being a heel one place and a baby face another place. So it's like you got to be cheered here and booed here, and it's just that it seems like that would be very confusing for like particularly fans of both products.
Yes, it's like Leonie gets the same issue as well because like she is such a good heel. Like she's a really good heel. So I was wondering like, how's she gonna get cheered here?
Yeah.
I have no problem with them booing me. They'll probably boo me just because like I've got a resting bitch face, and you know, so, I think they just cheer for me to be polite. Oh, okay, yay!
Mr. Isaacs, back to you.
Yeah, I'm just curious. I don't know if you watch AEW or follow it at all, but they just announced recently they're doing this big Wembley Stadium show in the UK.
Yes.
I'm just curious what you think about that. Do you think AEW has enough buzz in the UK to fill that? Do you plan on going? Just what are your general thoughts?
Well, I think they could easily fill that arena. Like, I think they're like, what's my best word to like not sound cheeky? I was going to say relevant, but it's like, well, that's a bit cheeky, isn't it? I mean, like they have enough traction. Like they're more popular. Like they're popular enough. There we go. Like I'm not sticking my foot in it, am I? But yeah, I think they could like fill up the arena. I've heard of it. I've heard like friends and fellow workers of mine talking about it, but I don't think I'll go because, well, I have no excuse. Yeah.
Next question.
I'm skint. That's why I can't go. No trash talker or anything. It's just literally I don't think I would like the travel. God honestly, I just don't think I'd like the travel there.
Yeah, it is a bit of probably a big trek from Scotland, so yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be a really far journey. Like I had a reason why I wasn't gonna go, and for some weird reason my mind went blank, and it's like I am sounding like a right egotistical arsehole here, am I? I don't mean to be. But no, it's the travel. It's like way too far for my liking.
Yeah. So I want to get your thoughts on obviously the British wrestling scene because people have been very vocal about this over the past couple of years. I mean, what's your thoughts on it overall?
Well, anything in particular at all?
Overall, just everything, your opinion on it, the whole thing.
Like
It's
how
shite.
the
No, I'm kidding. I'm joking. I'm joking.
like how the scene maybe has grown over the past couple of years. One
Yeah.
of the questions I had was, if NXT UK like affected
Oh,
the independence any in the UK, or just how the culture of British wrestling has changed over the past couple of years.
well, I think it's like massively grown. Like it's like really grown. It's flourished. I think it's really good. And then when NXT UK came along, like I'm pleased for them. Like when they signed a bunch of the top workers, I was pleased for the workers and that. But it kind of like they took a lot from the actual scene, if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So like like there wasn't enough guidance. Like
Mm-hmm.
some like so obviously if you're just starting out and like the majority of the experienced workers are gone, it's like, well, who's gonna guide me here? Like
Yeah.
I was lucky that I was very lucky because I started as you know 12 years ago. I'm actually in my 13th year now, like including training. So like
Mm-hmm.
that was like 13 years ago. I was lucky because I say lucky. WWE didn't really touch British workers that much. So I still had like Nikki Cross
Hmm.
and I keep calling them like I was about to keep calling them by their actual names. So it's like Piper Niven. Like they looked after me. They guided me through matches and they taught me as well as like Big Damo. Like he taught me as well. Like so well before they got signed, I got all that experience. I got all that knowledge shared with me. But we worked through it. We worked through it. So it's like there was still really good, talented workers out there who brought out amazing talent and helped them get better. Did I just go on an opposite tangent there?
No.
No?
No,
Did I
that
answer
was
that?
fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was great.
Yeah.
That kind of leads me into another question that I had was I was going to ask you. I found a YouTube channel that had your name on. Do you have an official YouTube channel?
Yes,
Okay.
it's not very active, because I don't like obviously like when you get your matches recorded, you don't it's their recording, it's not really yours.
Right.
So like I can't really put much on it.
Well, I was watching. I looked you up this morning on YouTube, and you mentioned Piper, and I saw the match that you had with Piper. Yeah, so
Mhm.
I actually watched that this morning, and that was a fun match. I enjoyed that.
That was
So
so old. That's such an old match. I'm completely different now. Like I was that wee clown, like ugh. Yeah, you know what? I'm ashamed of nothing. Yes, she was actually my first ever match.
oh
Like she was my
wow,
Oh,
debut match. It
that's
was in
awesome.
Cumbernauld. Cumbernauld, yeah.
there we go. There we go. So, the minute Mr. Isaac, go ahead. I ain't got no questions. I'm still laughing.
Well, I'm going to do a bit of a 180 here, and I'm going to go back to the gaming thing because you've got the cat ears on your head. You've got the infamous e-girl headphones on.
Ah!
So I'm just kind of curious. Like, what are your favorite games to play today? Like, do you play like Call of Duty or anything like that?
I think my current one is World of Warcraft still. Like
World of Warcraft.
World of Warcraft's my go-to. Like that's my favorite, absolute favorite.
Is that still a really active game? Because that's been around a
Yeah.
long time now, right?
Yeah, like patch Dragonflight wasn't long out. It's not been a year, has it? No, about maybe 6 months or so. Like they just brought out a new patch for it.
Wow. Awesome.
And
Yeah, I mean, I know
yeah,
that's been around a very long time since I don't know, I want to say like the mid 2000s or something like that. That's
I
when it was
think it
created.
started 2004. I think.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I think.
That's close to a 20-year-old game, and it's still populated online. That's very
Yeah.
impressive. I bet Blizzard's
Oh
made
yeah.
a ton of money from that.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
bet definitely. Especially when like you get to buy all stuff. Like I'll literally be like on the part where you can buy mounts, and I'm like, I shouldn't buy this. I shouldn't buy this. Oh, I bought it.
Yeah, I mean they get you. That's how these games last so long now. They get you with the microtransactions, right? Like used to 20 years ago, you buy the game, that's it. Now it's
Yeah.
like you got to have the super deluxe version, so you could have this extra piece of inventory. It's like, oh, come on.
Or like this piece of collectible where you get like a life size, like say a life size, you get a wee statue with it, you know.
Yeah. You get a
Yeah.
particular skin for your character or something
Oh
like
yeah.
that. They found different ways to monetize this to stretch it out. So it's genius on their part, but it hurts our wallets.
Yeah.
Before you
I
know
s-
it just builds up and up, and it's like, have I really spent that much? I mean,
Well, Liam,
what
back
can
to you.
yeah, so I'm talking moving back to wrestling a little bit. Do you have any like pre-matches before you go out? Obviously, in the ring, do you have any like you can psych yourself up? Do you listen to any music? Is it like a pre-match ritual, as we call it?
Well, not really. Like I'll kind of like see like my pre-match ritual is like my makeup takes ages. Getting ready takes ages. So like
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking about it as I'm doing my makeup. Like I'll put my eyeliner on, I'll eyeshadow thing like eyeshadow down my face. Like I shouldn't do eyeshadow down my face because it stains. I've got these big blotchy red cheeks all the way down. I'm like,
I would think that would get in your eye during matches too. Like when you sweat, does that like get into your eyes?
no, because it's eyeshadow, so it kind of
Oh,
like
okay.
stays on. So
Gotcha.
that's a good thing.
Right.
When I put my layers on as well, because like you don't want any accidents happening, especially when there's children around. So it's like, nope, having no part of that. It kind of multitask and just go through my head, and like just before I'm going out the curtain, I'm just like taking my deep breaths and I'm listening to my tune, and then snap, I'm in that character. That's kind of what I do pre-show.
That's impressive. The fact you can just literally click into that character. I mean, not many people can probably do that. So that's obviously credit to obviously you for that. So, wow,
It's
I'm
because I'm
impressed there.
autistic. It's literally it's my autism power. Like it's apparently it's part of it where you can like you prefer to be in characters. So
I understand that because both of my children are autistic, so I totally get where you're coming from there.
oh, they've got numerous superpowers. Be aware of that.
Yeah.
They will have
Yeah.
superpowers.
My son is like an encyclopedia of like any kind of animal that has ever existed on the planet.
That's fantastic.
Mr. Isaac, back to you.
Well, I was just kind of curious, kind of as a follow up to that, what kind of music do you listen to, like when you're trying to get yourself pumped up to work out or go have a hard match? Do you have like a particular go to?
Uh, well, believe it or not, it's like Kurt Angle's music.
All
I'll
right.
listen to that, or I'll listen to some like Japanese music as well. Or sometimes I'll just put my own tune on that I go out to, which is the red jumpsuits face down.
Oh yeah, that's a
What
good
a
song.
song, by the way. That is
Yeah, that's a great
one of my
song.
favorite songs.
Yep. Like it just that helps me get into it as well.
Now the Japanese music, are we talking like wrestler entrances? Or are we talking like J-pop or something like that?
It's more baby metal and
Oh, baby metal, yeah.
a
Baby
mixture
metal's
of
cool. I dig
yeah.
them. Yeah. I can see that.
That is just such a unique, band. I mean, I remember first time listening to them. Roxy, what's that name? We've got a follow-up question there.
Roxy says, "Are you a fan of J-pop?"
I don't think I've ever listened to much J-pop at all, so I don't know. I can't answer that. I'm afraid. Sorry.
Yeah, I've not actually listened to J-pop myself, so I can't really comment on that. It's very unique on that one. I mean, I've been told about it, saying it's really comes across as weird, but that's all.
It's strange. Yeah. But then again, a lot
Yeah.
of Japanese popular culture is kind of strange. So
And that's why we love it.
and that's why we love it. Yeah.
That's
folks
why
that
we
are-
love it.
yeah.
There we go. There we go.
It's odd, but it's interesting. I've heard some of it.
Yeah, absolutely. So, what's the goal? Obviously, in the next couple of years for you as a wrestler, what do you want to achieve? Looking like in the next 3 years?
Well, definitely. Like it's like it goes back to working in Japan. Like
Mhm.
that's the goal. I don't have any others. It's literally Japan. and
Right.
like I'll obviously like work hard to get there. Like I won't just like sit on my backside munching my snacks. I'll exercise first, then munch my snacks.
Now, when you get there and you pin Mercedes Monet and you take the IWGP Women's Championship, I want you to think about this podcast and this conversation.
I will. While holding my cheddars with me, like belt in my hand, cheddar's like, yes.
Why can I see that happening? I really can't.
I would love to have that match, quite frankly. You know, I think that would be brilliant.
That would be amazing. Mr. Isaac, back to you.
Well, that was kind of where I was leaning towards with my conclusion here. Was the like what is your ultimate goal for the future? So I guess I could just expound upon that a little bit. Do you have like a current dream opponent in Japan that you're just dying to wrestle?
Julia, I would love a rematch with Mayu Iwatani now that I'm in better shape since I last came across. So, and I would love to work with Kairi.
All right.
Top 3.
Absolutely. Yeah. Wow. That's
yeah.
Unbelievable. So we'll finish off with one thing, which is obviously something I'm sure you're super excited for, is this is coming up, WrestleBration.
Hell yeah.
So this was announced on, I think it's on the UKW Facebook page. Do we know what's the plans for you there? Can you enlighten us with this one, or are we going to have to wait and see?
Oh, it's wait and see. I don't know what's going on. It's a wait and see for me. I don't know. Like, I know I'm going to be there, but I don't know what I'm doing. It's just for me, like, yeah, I'm going to be here. Don't know yet.
You see, she's a true pro. Like, she's just going to show up the day of, they're going to tell her what to do, and she's going to make it look fantastic. So that's a good answer. I like that.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's amazing. So I've got no more further questions, Mr. Isaacs. Have you?
That does it for me, sir.
Right, that pretty much wraps obviously our interview up. So before we do all the outro thing, Kirsty, is there anything you want to plug?
Well, you've already done it for me, really. 29th of April, Day of Reckoning, UKW in Batley. Who will I face? Will it be Sarah Sky, Ruby Bronco, or Nisa? Maybe all 3. I don't know. We'll find out. And I do not use Twitter because I don't like it. It's toxic. But if you want to follow me on Instagram, it's at the Kirsty Love. So I post random nonsense, though, just so you know.
All
Don't expect anything sexy or anything, because it's not. It's really not.
This has been probably one of my funniest interviews ever. But Kirsty, of course, good luck for obviously a Day of Reckoning. I mean, it could be all 4. I mean, it could be one of them. Who knows? I'll definitely be checking that out. So, yeah, I mean, Mr. Isaac's going to do the outro a little bit.
Yeah, you can go to fnwrestling.com and find all of our socials. We're also on prowrestlingtees.com, FN Wrestling, if you want to find a t-shirt, or if you're a fan of old school, there's Natalia Mark over there that we mentioned earlier. But if you're a fan of old school wrestling, we also run the Pro Wrestling Tees shop of Adrian Adonis. So if you go to Pro Wrestling Tees /Adrian Adonis, pick up a shirt of him as well. And you can find me on my socials at Mr. Isaacs. You can find Liam at Effin Magician. And
on Twitter.
Kirsty, we thank you so much for coming on here. This has been a blast.
Oh, thank you for having me. It's been a real good laugh.
Oh, absolutely. This is probably one I'm going to remember for a while. So, so on behalf of me, the magician, Mr. Isaacs, and the lovely Kirsty Love, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you all in the next one. Magic Man out.
Bye.